Alrighty, fellas. Not usually. We had no live Saturday, no live Sunday because Danny was away at the Bills game. And today we figured we'd go live, talk about what we saw in the playoff games, talk about some underdog teams potentially. I will be going to Baltimore, Buffalo in Buffalo. Very excited about that.
Some may say a little bit more of a desirable game.
A little bit more desirable than Broncos and Bills. But yeah, me and my buddies we were watching the Commanders and Bucks game in whatever, we lost. Who gives a shit? I don't know. I don't even want to
respectfully though, I gotta say one thing. It is comical how on the timeline you're like, everybody counting out the Bucks. Watch, we're gonna beat Washington today and then go into Philly next week and beat them, and everybody was letting you know after the game.
I mean, for what it's worth, we should have beaten Washington in that game. If we don't shoot ourselves in the foot repeatedly, we would have. Yeah. But I mean, I have nothing else to say. I'm so irritated with Bucks fans. They're like, fire Todd Bowles. I'm like, Todd Bowles didn't have anything to do with that game. You forgot to take a timeout in the fourth quarter. People freak out for no reason. I don't know. Obviously, if I had to choose between Cohen and Bowles, I would choose Cohen. I'm not an idiot, but I don't think.
So what do you do then?
I'm one of the few Bucks fans that just does not think Bowles is the problem at all.
So if Cohen's just like, hey, make me a head coach or I'm leaving, what are you doing?
I would make him a head coach.
And then you let Bowles go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's how it's going to go, though. I mean,
respectfully, too, I got to point out, I'm like, there is a certain team with a star on their helmet looking for a new head coach now. So
yeah, get ready to learn Jason Witten.
Yeah, that report was insane.
You guys are Dan, I hate to tell you this because, obviously you've suffered enough as a fan.
We're going to hire
you're going to make the stupidest hire possible.
Yeah,
you realize that, right?
I'm not oblivious to it. I'm not getting my hopes up. But also, it would be pretty comical if we got your boy Cohen. I don't expect this to, but it would be fucking hilarious.
You should be on your hands and knees praying.
I would.
Cohen
if
that happens.
I would do wild things for Liam Cohen as the head coach of my team.
Yeah, I'm already having visions of Deion Sanders, Cliff Kingsbury, or one of these dudes being the coach of your team.
You want to hear an underrated one that I was thinking about, and I'm like, this would actually make a ton of sense if we got fucking Sark.
Ugh.
He lives in Texas.
He does live in Texas. Also, not a great coach either.
Dude, he got Quinn Ewers to the national semifinal.
I mean, Quinn's better than 90% of college quarterbacks. He's not a good NFL quarterback, but he's going to get drafted, which means he's better than most college quarterbacks.
Yeah, respectfully, I might shoot myself in the head if that ever happened. Why would we be the ones attaching 2 firsts to Dak in that deal? Be for real.
I mean, for what it's worth, first of all, it's possible you just get Shedeur where you're picking. Let's just
we're
be
not
honest.
Going to draft Shedeur. Let's be real.
It's possible though. It's possible he would just slide to you.
I'm good. Yeah, you know who also might slide to us is the generational running back who said he wants to be a Cowboy. I mean, I'd personally rather go that direction.
Yeah. This is Rylan said, how y'all feeling after you losing your Charger? I mean,
that was
the one with the Chargers bags.
Dude, you gotta love the one-off QJ with a donut.
So I actually had more Texans than Chargers because I was at first. I'm like, oh man, the Chargers.
The only Texan I got was Mixon when I needed running back.
Going to hurt my portfolio, and I looked, and I drafted Mixon 6 times, I drafted Collins 5 times, and I drafted Stroud twice. I only drafted Herbert 3 times. McConkey, I drafted a lot more, but he gave me at least a one-off, so we'll take that. And then QJ, I drafted once. So I was like, I guess I didn't even have Chargers bags. Dobbins only had 3 shares of 2.
Remember my theory? I said Derrick Henry should be the first running back off the board because it's easier to stack an NFC team. That's looking good after round 1.
Yeah. I will say, too, I'm looking at the weather for the game I'm about to attend, and it's not looking good. It's going to be freezing.
Oh, dude. When I got my tickets, apparently, because I asked the Uber, I'm like, what for reference, right? I got 40-yard line, 22nd row. Really, you saw my tickets. I sent it in the chat, right? Mm-hmm. Pictures. Mm-hmm. I got the video of the James Cook touchdown. That was pretty cool. But those tickets were $240 American. And I'm like, okay, why did I get them so cheap? And then she's like, oh, because people have just been selling their tickets because they think it's going to be freezing and snowing at the game. I go to the game, dude, it was beautiful.
Yeah, you guys had a good weather. We're not going to have as good of weather, I don't think, by the looks of it, for the Ravens and Bills game. I looked, and it's -12. So that's 10 degrees Fahrenheit for you clowns that use that system. But it's going to be cold. It's going to be a fucking cold ass game. And it's supposed to snow during the game, which is, I mean, the Bills can run the ball. It's not like the Bills can't play that type of football, but like I trust the Ravens run defense more than I trust Buffalo's. So
yeah, that could be the issue now. Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, it feels like Josh Allen's here, dude. Every time that guy made a positive play, the stadium was erupting. MVP. It felt fucking
I bet.
great. It's a good time. Now, with that being said, the Broncos could have done something in their own power to make the game a little bit more entertaining. But I mean, overall, from the Buffalo end, I mean, can we also talk about? Oh, we're out here drafting Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman, and your boy Curtis Samuel rips off a fucking 53-yard touchdown or where the fuck it was.
I told you Curtis Samuel was a good pick.
What was that, bro? I'm watching the stadium. I'm like, number one, is that Curtis Samuel? But he just makes like 4 people miss and scores. I'm like,
I fucking told you he was a good pick.
I mean, you also had your bags on Amari Cooper, so.
Ethan, I don't know it off my head. I looked it up so that I could tell you guys the temperature on this stream. Right before we went live, I looked up what the weather forecast was.
Minus 30 divided by 2 or some bullshit, some type of.
No, I just looked it up. I know it's minus 12, and then I was like, what's minus 12 in Fahrenheit? I literally looked it up 2 minutes before we went live.
How does the conversion go? It's like divided by 2 minus 30 to get Celsius.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know or care. Oh, also, this is a team, by the way. I just want to show you this best ball team because I'm quite excited about it. This is one of my gauntlet teams that I feel really, really good about because I was kind of able. I don't think this is like, hey, let me make sure this is like a lock to actually get through. Okay, 62, 16 quarters remaining from this guy. Okay, this guy might be an issue if Puka and Cup go berserk. But anyways, this team, should it advance, is in a really good spot because it's first of all, it's hard to get the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Eagles through because the Eagles kind of didn't have a great game and Cook was really the only Bill that was like heavily drafted that had a great game. And I threaded the needle on this. Look at this. I had 4 Kansas City pass catchers. Look at that.
Yeah, that's kind of
4 Kansas City pass catchers. And I got nutted out with Goddard and McLaurin having good games. And then I had
McLaurin giving me a 2 off. And
Cook and Mixon had to have good games for me, and they did. And then Hurts, I mean, ideally would have had a better game. But if this one sneaks through, dude, I got a Philly 2X, a Kansas City 5X, and Mixon and McLaurin both made it to the next round. So they're going to score points for me, and James Cook as a one-off for the potential AFC Championship matchup. So this team is the one that I feel the best about just in terms of how it was constructed. But sure, but I feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Looking at this team has 102 points, Danny, without a quarterback. I could have gotten a solo Jared Goff through on this team.
Yeah, it's kind of mental.
Look at that. Derrick Henry, Jacobs, McConkey, and Collins. And then I just snuck through. Darnold's still going to add points to this team. So Minnesota, Baltimore Super Bowl with, I guess McConkey's dead, but McConkey and Jacobs are dead, but Nico got through. So that's not.
I could low-key advance in one of our bigger mittens.
Is it the one that I'm advancing in right now?
It's the one that you're in 4th in.
Oh, okay, yeah, this one's cooked. I already
the one that you're in 4th in. Here, check my team quick. So I have Darnold. I got the Henry bomb, which is nice. And then I have Jefferson, Hawkinson tonight.
Yeah, Jefferson, Hawkinson, Akers. Yeah, you're going to need Hawk and Jefferson to have good games. Is your Darnold flex? Yeah, Andrews is hitting your flex right now. I mean, Akers scoring a tug would be nice for you too. That's definitely a doable advance. My team kind of just absolutely shit the bed at receiver. Like I had AJ Brown, Smith, Khalil Shakir, Cooper, and Coleman. None of them did anything, which was horrible for my team.
So what do I need to pass you in the other one? So you're 41.5 up on me, 42 up on me. I have Puka, Cup, and Stafford tonight. So I basically need, what is that? Puka and Cup to basically combine for like 30, and then Stafford to be an improvement on Hurts. Am I doing that right?
Yeah, that's a tough one for sure. Like, I mean, you would have not a hard time at all because one of these receivers is going to hit your lineup immediately because you only have one receiver in your lineup. Yeah. And then Cup hits your lineup pretty easily too because Gainwell only had 1.4 in your flex. So you definitely could climb up pretty easily in this one. I'm only up 41 or whatever, like you said on you. Yeah. It appears that you're actually my only threat by the looks of it. Like,
hey, as long as one of us gets through, that'd be dope.
Yeah, one of us getting through would be nice. I think, I'm pretty sure you're my only threat. Like I went through this Thor guy, I believe is dead. Yeah, he's got
who's
0
got with
quarters
Kyron?
remaining. What is this guy? 8 quarters remaining. Who does he have? He has Hawkinson. He'd have to hit some good points to get into his lineup. Yeah, that guy's probably you're definitely got a better chance of catching me than him. But this is the team that I got through. Or I'm getting through currently. Unfortunately, Tampa losing the game kind of screws me a little bit because Bucky and Evans are gone. However, I would have Patrick and Hopkins next week to come into the fold.
Yeah,
and then James Cook to help me out there. So, I mean, this team is one of those teams where it's like probably not going to win the contest, but the bigger mitten, I mean, you got to figure like the pods you get put into, there's going to be like, first of all, it's only 1 of 4 that you have to advance out of. And there's probably going to be a dead team or maybe 2 in each pod, given what some of the like big scores were from McConkey's and, Evans and Bucky and those type of players. And, I feel decent that if this one gets through, I mean, at the very least, I'm in cashed, and hopefully I can at least place in my pod. If I come in like second, if I don't make it through out of the divisional round, I should be able to place with this. But like I said, if I go down, it better be to you. I hope it's not to one of these other guys. I don't think it will be. To this,
especially not Dale McNeil. I remember him fucking sniping me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if I go down, it will be to you. By the looks of it, I mean, this guy could technically he would need a 30 bomb from Kyron, so he's probably not going to pass me.
Also, I still fucking reek at pick'ems. Like barely hit any fucking when I was in Buffalo.
Oh, I had a horrible day yesterday. I literally hit like 40% of my picks.
It was
not
brutal. It was fucking brutal.
Biggest best ball regret. Mine is Dobbins. Mine is not taking enough Curtis Samuel. Because I literally was on him and I drafted him.
Playoff best ball.
Yeah.
I mean, can I say QJ?
QJ is definitely a regrettable one.
Dude, the thing is, if you told me he had 5 targets, I would be like, yeah, he either had 26 fantasy points or he had 0, and we just got 0.
I would say the amount of Bucky and Evans I ended up with is also not ideal.
Also, you're going to call me a big rat for this? Bro, I entered 26 golf slow drafts.
Yeah, that's psycho.
They're all $10, so it's like whatever. But like,
yeah, you know what's so annoying? This always happens every year. Isn't this such classic playoff best ball that this is one of the teams I get through?
Yes,
a Justin Herbert 4-stack that's going to be dead the second it's into the next round.
Did you see actually you didn't draft the same DraftKings as me, bro? I had the DraftKings thing that we did, right?
Oh, I didn't even actually check my team in that.
So I had a Chargers Lions Super Bowl, I want to say, in that.
Okay.
As you know, the Chargers lost. But I also had a one-off Derrick Henry. So I had Derrick Henry and Ladd in my lineup. And the min cash in that was like $103 or whatever. And it was only like a $15 entry or something like that.
Okay.
Entry. Okay. So it's like, even though I played for the min cash, it's somehow going to work because I had Ladd and Henry.
I'm actually in second place in mine right now.
Let's go.
And do I have a chance of? Oh, I do. I still have Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and Jalen Naylor to go tonight.
Cook.
So my lineup is Allen, Ty Johnson, George Pickens, Shakir, Goddard, and Smith. That's hitting my lineup right now. So if I get, how many am I down? I'm down 15 points. The guy ahead of me, is he out of players? He has Kupp and Kyron. Fuck. Okay. Well, also, I need a nuke from Jefferson and Aaron Jones, basically.
We got to mention this too. I hate the fucking boys, but tough weekend for you with the rooting interests because Texas as well.
Pretending that I actually care about the Texas Longhorns is
come on. You can't do that after they lose. Bid. Come on.
I'm not kidding you, dude. Like I watched half the games this year. Like I'm kind of a raging casual when it comes to college football.
Let's get Mike. Yeah, let's get Dylan.
Yeah, as I've often said, you got to pick your battles a little bit. I'm allowed to watch football all day, Sunday, Monday night, Thursday night. I got to sacrifice Saturdays because otherwise I would be divorced.
Oh, also big news. Did you see Singleton went back?
I did see that. Yeah, I did see.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the chat. It kind of feels like a Trevion situation where like I think everybody understands that the kid's got talent, but like there's areas of refinement in his game. And I mean, for example, we look at Trevion Henderson now. I think he's got a really strong case to be RB4 because like straight up he's outplayed Quinshon Judkins in the same backfield this year.
Yeah, I could definitely see myself by the time it's all said and done saying that Henderson's potentially even RB3.
Yeah, I mean, like I gotta watch Caleb Johnson first to make that, because he's got a really nice profile looking at it from the outside in, especially given the size, given the speed that he has. But I mean, Trevion Henderson, from an archetype standpoint, like he's the type of guy that we always fall in love with. I mean, we see J.K. Dobbins with DeAndre Swift. So obviously, I mean, Majin also says a Chase Brown would be pretty nice, like just an explosive runner that if you can kind of rein in more consistency, you can get really good production from him.
Watch him nuke Chase Brown in Cincinnati.
Hampton RB2. Yes, I watched some more Hampton today. Can't confirm he is RB2.
Yeah, we're getting the draft guide set up. A couple things. First of all, I did a Dynasty trade targets earlier today, if you guys are looking for Dynasty trade targets, and I dropped a bar that everybody was a fan of. I said in the video that fuck, I'm literally forgetting the bar. I got to look it up. I said it. I literally said it by accident.
Talent separates tiers. Situation separates ties, or something like that.
I said, what did I say here? Talent breaks tiers, situation breaks ties, is what I said when referring to how to rank wide receivers in Dynasty, which I thought was kind of a bar, and everybody appreciated it in the comments. Legendary bar, according to Arthur. But yeah, the video is live, and of course, a couple other like quick housekeeping things. The first edition of our draft guide, we're going to have 25, 30 rookies in it. About a month from now is the goal that we'll have that February 15th, give or take. And then hopefully the second edition of the draft guide will be around the combine time, 30, 40 prospects in that one. And then we'll have the final edition before I go to Mexico at the end of March.
Hey, you already know Bush. Talk about your boy a little bit. Talk about your boy.
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, if you guys watch the video we did on Mason's channel about the wide receiver class, we're
gonna be watching way more.
Higgins at like wide receiver 13, when that's not what I said in the video. Like he was just throwing the tiers on there, but like Jaden Higgins would be way higher than 13.
He did that for the aesthetic, and like people are gonna be like, "Wow, these FSU guys haven't watched much." It's like, well, we're just bringing up the names. Like the Mason just wanted to learn about the class, so we brought up some information. Trust me, you guys want to say we haven't watched enough tape yet. I would agree with you. We haven't, which is what we're doing now.
I, for what it's worth, like I pretty much was going entirely off the prospect model for that video. Like I was
going off of the notes that we had on guys going into the year.
Yeah, like I just said, I'm a college football casual, so we watch these guys going into the college football season, and I know what their profiles stack up to be as sophomores and juniors. But as far as what they did this year, like I'm not as well versed on these prospects, so I need to get these guys into the prospect model. And of course the prospects tab is also live on the site now, so you guys can do some research there. This is an interesting looking team that I should be able to get through here, Danny.
I can't show this Genty clip I have saved up, can I?
No, you cannot.
Fuck. Wanted to show you guys so badly a Genty clip that I have that I took off the All-22.
Well, here's another plug, Danny, because you know what we do over on the site as well, right? Because we're not allowed to fucking do it on YouTube because YouTube overlords hate us. We do film breakdowns, all 22 film breakdowns, where we actually break down the class. Anybody who had access to the site or used our underdog code actually got access to that last year, where they were able to see us break down all 22 of Marvin Harrison and Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors and Caleb Williams and all the guys that we broke down. We're going to be doing that again as well for probably 15, 20 prospects, I would imagine, at least in this class.
There was one run against Washington State that Genty had that I couldn't even process. He got hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and the play resulted in an 80-yard touchdown where he broke about 7 tackles. And I'm like, what did I just watch? And I want to show it to you guys so badly because I literally have it on my phone here, but I'm gonna send it in the chat because, like, bro, it's just stupid. It makes no sense, some of the runs he was able to pull off this year.
Yeah, no, he had some crazy runs. Give me your thoughts on this team, Danny, because to me, this is insanely unique that I got this through, because I got obviously Lamar, not unique, Joe Mixon, but like the fact that I get another week out of Joe Mixon is massive because my other running back is Keaton Mitchell. Yeah. The fact that Collins and the Texans won, so I have Mixon and Collins going through and McLaurin getting through, plus ARSB on bye, Devontae with a stinker, Zay Flowers out for that last game.
So you're hoping Houston upsets the Chiefs then, so you can get another week of the Texans.
Yeah, probably hoping Houston. Well, not even just that. Like even if they just have good games out of it and they help me advance into the next round, like get 10 players live with a lot of these guys going to be hard to get through, like Flowers and Smith, because they didn't have good games and or were out for the game. And same, like I feel like a lot of Lions teams got nuked as well because of how many good weeks we got from like the wild card teams.
Like unless you paired your Lions with your Chargers, like you're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, like you had to have been willing to like sacrifice, like you had to have been like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Like, actually, one of the teams I did it on, the Lad Nico team that I had, where I was like, you know what? I have Lad Nico, probably a stupid idea right here. This 102 team. I was like, probably a stupid idea to have both Lad and Nico because you're inherently admitting that you're going to lose a player and you don't want to find lose players or find lost and dead roster spots. But that double stack helped me get this team through. And this was a St. Brown team. And, you know, some of these guys, obviously Jacobs, maybe in hindsight, didn't really need him, especially knowing I have Darnold going tonight. But this is a nice looking team. Other than the dead Lad and Jacobs, I feel pretty good about this Ravens and Baltimore stack here with a one-off Nico on it.
Sorry, I'm just going to share my screen for 1 second.
Go nuts.
I'm not actually going to show the video, but just know he gets contacted here at the 35 on this clip. This play resulted in a 65-yard touchdown. And this was after about, I think it was would that be the 42-yard line? There's probably 3 people wrapping up to tackle him, and he just bounces off of all of them. So,
yeah.
Want to show that. Obviously, I can't show the clip, unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah. Dylan said on Avery's channel, I'm talking about he hasn't. Oh, it's Avery's channel he's talking about. He hasn't gone into the second round of rookie mocks in like the past 2 streams. I mean, for what it's worth, Avery is probably where we are with this rookie class, which is we have not dug into the types of players that would go into the second round. Like usually by early February, we're versed enough on like 2 full rounds worth of prospects that we've watched and graded and whatnot. And
I will say
we start to slowly roll this. I wish we were just machines and we had the whole class memorized by now. But anybody who tells you that they've watched the entire class is either lying or doesn't have a very extensive, prospect process. Like me and Danny watch like 3, 4, 5 games on these guys each. Like we can only get through these guys so fast.
You're my response. I'm like, a life.
Yeah, I mean, they also probably don't have a life either if they're just ripping through prospects.
Like for what it's worth. So I mentioned that I finished the Genty card like that. Obviously, that was pretty self-explanatory. You guys pretty much
easily
how he did. Yeah, the guy.
I might not even watch him if I'm being 100% honest. No,
you really. I'm gonna keep a stack. You really don't need to if you didn't want to, but I ended up watching 6 total games on him because I watched 3 in the off season with the 2023, and I have my notes on that. And I also watched 3 2024 games. So the games that I have listed here are 2023 Memphis, 2023 San Diego State, 2023 Colorado State, 2024 Oregon, 2024 Penn State, 2024 Washington State. And literally, again, I'm not going to say my grade. I will just say the weaknesses that I had with him. Boise State level competition, which again, kind of disputed because he did play against Penn State. He did play against Oregon this year, but it is a note. He doesn't play for like fucking Wisconsin or he doesn't play for like Michigan. You know what I mean? He plays for Boise State still.
Yeah, he plays for, you could have named at least 20 teams better than the 2 that you named.
Georgia. Yeah. Alabama. Yeah, you're right. Why did I name fucking Wisconsin out of all of them? I don't know.
I was talking about Michigan too. But
yeah, chill. Next year, Bryce Underwood. Not the most physical blocker. Vision lapses in rare occasions. There's sometimes you can tell he's trying to do too much, and that plays into the next one. Trust his talent a bit too many times. I'm not going to say the exact points because obviously we will talk about them in the film study, but there is about 10 pros that I have listed here. And the only cons were like, he's not as good in this area. Like, it's not like he's terrible.
It's going to be, for me, it's going to be a photo finish between who has a higher grade between him and Bijan.
Yeah,
when Bijan was coming out, that's realistically
what was Bijan's grade for you on the site on the scale?
I don't remember. I think it was 90, 94, 96, 95. I don't remember.
All I'll say is my Genty grade came an inch under where I ended up with Marv.
Yeah, so in the prospect model, when I ran him through as a sophomore, he stacked up comparable to Bijan, Saquon, and McCaffrey as a sophomore. So after this season, when he had basically a college football record-setting season, I can't imagine he's going to be any worse than this. Like he's going to stack up very, very comparable to Bijan, if not higher. Like
genuinely as an offensive asset, obviously, he's not a refined blocker. Sure, you expect him to pick up blitzing A gap linebackers all game. He's not going to do that. Sure, that's a weakness. Outside of that specifically, I'm watching this guy being able to leverage and press the outside, being able to explode up in both man and zone scheme runs, being able to catch the ball fluently out of the backfield. I mean, I literally sent you a clip, Corey, This guy was running a clear flat, and had 2 outside defenders tracking him like their life depended on it. 2 against Oregon. Oregon basically said, okay, you know what? We're going to try, which they didn't even do anything against because he averaged like 7 yards per carry and scored 3 touchdowns against them. So the only, like people are wondering, okay, well, the receiving production, why is it down from last year? Well, anytime this guy was running a route, it almost felt like there was 2 guys on him because they're like, we take Genty out of the passing game and we make Matson beat us with their other wide receivers. We actually saw like Maddox Matson had like a decent second half of the year because they were not letting fucking Genty out of their sights in the passing game. It was actually insane to watch.
Yeah, no, they committed so many fucking resources to him. I mean, naturally, why wouldn't you? And to answer your question, Danny, Dylan mentioned in the chat, his FSE grade ended up being 91, but that was also factoring in his analytics profile. My film grade of him was 94.5.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, I'm really excited. Let me know. I mean, Dylan, some of you guys in the chat, how would you guys want this information conveyed once I get them into the prospect model? Because I'm going to run the prospects through the prospect. It's literally the first thing I'm going to do when the college football season is over because I'm so excited to do it. I'm trying to think of like how I want to go through this stuff because I think what makes the most sense is to make like a video on me running the prospects through the prospect model, sans their athletic testing, and kind of seeing how they stack up initially. Because I know like that, for example, with Ron's prospect model, that's kind of like how he does it is he does like his top 10 running back rankings and he kind of gives insights into how they stacked up in the model. I don't know how I want to deliver the information because obviously like what I do with the running backs to target and avoid is like I need all the information to do that. So I can't really do that at the start of the offseason until I get their testing numbers and their draft capital and whatnot there. But it's still fun to do regardless. Like just, okay, hypothetically they go to this, draft capital situation. They test this well. This is how they're going to stack up. I'll probably do some kind of like initial running back wide receiver rankings there just for fun. Can you run Jeremiah Smith through as well, just to see where he's at as a freshman? I could this offseason tinker with running some Debbie prospects through it. I did it with sophomores last year, obviously entering the draft, and I could tinker with throwing Ryan Williams.
Where do you think Jeremiah Smith would end up if you ran him through the fucking prospect cycle?
I can't imagine he would stack up better than like a wide receiver 2 prospect just because
it's only one season sample.
It's only a 1 season sample size. So anything that's like improvement bonuses and stuff, he can't qualify for, obviously. So, yeah, I'm sure he'll be a stud when the time he comes out. Let's just put it this way. We don't really need the prospect model to tell us that Jeremiah Smith is going to be a stud.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. The guy that is getting Julio Jones comparisons and is outproducing Julio Jones as a freshman is probably going to end up being pretty good. Yeah, no. He's different. Like straight up, he's different. Now, it is pretty hilarious how Ohio State's probably going to win the national championship. And, like, rightfully so. Again, I can sound bitter, like, oh, yeah, Michigan with this. Like, they're the best team in the country right now. With that being said, their whole season, all they're going to think about is, in the year that they won the national championship, they lost to Michigan. Like, we didn't do that last year.
Shit, Danny,
oh, trust me.
100% honest with you.
Majan's going to tell you with a straight face he doesn't care. Every fucking Ohio State fan I know is pissed that they lost.
This is a classic Danny.
No.
He's making it about
College football is different, dude. I'm telling you. College football is different. Like pros, you lose to your rival. Nobody fucking cares if you win the Super Bowl. In college, bro, you lose to your rival and you still end up winning. It taints everything. Like if Michigan had lost to Ohio State last year, I would have been fucking pissed. Not about the natty, but about the whole situation. Like, why couldn't we have just won?
I think this seems like a way to make this about Michigan when it's not about Michigan.
I'm genuinely not. That's how fucking stark the rivalry is. I've had fucking Ohio State fans say that to me. I'm not joking.
I don't know. Are they like you, Michigan fans, though?
Also, tainted as if we didn't lose our head coach, and we've literally saw our fucking defensive coordinator lead a top 5 Charger defense this year. Like, what are we talking about?
Danny's trying to change the subject.
Changing what subject? What was the initial one?
I don't know. You just like brought this out of the woodworks that Ohio State is like the best.
I just brought it up because I saw somebody
about it.
Yeah, I just brought it up because I'm like, yeah, they're going to win the national championship most likely, but also it's pretty hilarious in the year that they lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, but hey, Majin, you don't get to talk about paying people when you guys had the highest fucking payroll for people to come in last year. Weren't you guys paying like $30 million to people to come to your team last year? Am I not mistaken? Your NIL budget been high, bro. You're just salty that we're catching up.
Okay, save this for the Ohio State versus Michigan podcast that will never get created. What was I going to say? I literally had something off the top of my head that I was going to talk about. This is horrible streaming by me right now. I've never lost my train of thought midstream. This has not happened before. Anyways, what do we think is going to happen tonight? I'll change the subject now. Minnesota Rams. Who do you got?
I will go Minnesota.
Minnesota. You think Sammy D's got it in him?
I give it a 55-45 level of confidence. I think the roster is so good that they should win, but the Rams have the head coach and the quarterback advantage. Actually, head coach is a toss-up now. Kevin O'Connell, that guy, but he is also a McVay disciple. So, I mean, we'll see what happens in a game head-to-head.
I tend to think that the Vikings will win just purely based on the fact that when I look at the 4 units in the game, I think that the Rams defense is the worst unit. And at times the Rams offense can actually be worse than their defense.
Yeah.
Like Cup has like how many games in a row of like under 30 yards receiving? Like his higher or lower on Underdog is like 42 yards or something like that. Like Cooper Kupp and Quentin Johnston had the same higher or lower end during their games.
No, wait, sorry. I just saw a tweet. So the Rams tweeted out, "It's game day. Whose house is this?" And then somebody quote tweeted it saying, "Whose house is this?" Like theirs didn't burn down to a crisp. Is crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Yeah. So you're Vikings too?
Yeah, I would go with Vikings as well. That again could eat my words on that because I think we could very quickly see that quarterbacks matter in the NFL in this game with Matthew Stafford throwing for 275 and 3 touchdowns and Sam Darnold throwing 3 ints or something like that. But I actually do have some picks over on.
I made mine today too. Did Spicy put them through?
He did. Yeah. The picks I went with, because I had such awful dog shit picks that everybody reminded me about in the comments when I posted the short yesterday.
No. When you captured the Bucks game as the Buccaneers are a lock, I'm like, oh, Bush, you're fucking ruffling some feathers here.
Oh, I mean, you gotta clickbait it a little bit. So we're going back to basics here. We're gonna get the best receiver in the fucking league to score a touchdown. Somehow that was even, so I got that there. And then TJ Hawkinson higher than 42.5 receiving yards. Rams allow the 4th most yards to the tight end position. And then I like Puka Nacua to have a carry for over 2.5 yards or multiple carries for over 2.5 yards in this game. Every like important game that they've had this year, the Rams, they've given Puka Nacua rushing work, like against the Lions, against the Vikings the first time they played against them, against the 49ers, against the Bills, like every game that they've had that's important. They've had Puka Nacua get usage on the ground. So those are the 3 picks that I'm rolling with. Yeah, Danny is just like totally not listening to what I'm saying, just fucking doing whatever the hell he feels like.
I read Brock's comment. Chill. My picks, a guaranteed 2 out of 3 for those of you that are watching. Aaron Jones higher than 58.5 rushing yards. This is kind of coinciding with the Sam Darnold pick. I think Sam Darnold, like again, it's a little bit of a gut take, but I think Sam Darnold throws a pick early and they get Aaron Jones going. It's part of it. So I'm going to correlate that. And then,
if Sam Darnold throws a pick early, this game might be over.
It could be. And then we got Puka Nacua higher than 10.5 targets.
Cooper Kupp sucks midway through the fucking first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot simpler. Yeah, I had to do it. Are you happy, Danny, that Mike is gone? Fired Jerry Jones. I mean, yeah, dude, fucking Mike is he's gonna be the new Bears head coach, and we're gonna have to deal with that for Caleb and Dynasty. How much sleep are you losing over not taking Jeremiah Smith in our Devy league? Well, first of all, I have him in the other league that I'm in, so I'm cool. And second of all, I mean, it's not like I passed on him for like some bums. Like we got like, James taking like Quinshon Judkins and all those fucking guys. Pass on him for Ashton Genty. So, I mean, like losing sleep, sure. I would rather have Jeremiah Smith the asset overall. You wouldn't?
No, not than Genty.
See,
if I had to draft a Devy league right now, I would still take Genty 101.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think they're the clear 101 and 102, so I can't really lose sleep on that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, as it's been well established, my Devy strategy is always draft eligible prospects.
You just picked the wrong class too.
What class did I?
This past freshman class was just insane.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's what I mean.
Freshman class was insane, but look at the Devies I ended up with. I got Amari
no.
and Hampton and Travis Hunter and fucking all the guys that I ended up with.
No, I'm not saying you drafted bad. I was saying I'm like even like dude, like Cam Coleman, like Ryan Williams, like dude, there was like fucking like 8 really good freshmen this year. It's like what the fuck?
Yeah, well, 90% of the time they're fucking janitors by like the midway through their second season.
Yes, sir. Yeah, dude, we had to hear in that group chat people calling him fucking Ray Davis.
Groupthink is disgusting, bro. People were like, Genty in the first round? How could you take him over Travion Henderson? I'm like, what are you talking about, FF Dirty Mike?
The funniest by far is when it was like, yeah, he's Ray Davis level athletic. I'm like,
yeah, someone said he was Ray Davis level athletic in our Devi chat when Danny took him.
I sent you that video of him bursting off a long run, like when I was in the tape study. I'm like, yeah, this looked like Ray Davis on this play, in my opinion. Guys, just a 75-yard touchdown, little one go action. Genty's literally just fucking Kamara all over again, dude.
He's Kamara with Gibbs' speed, which is so fucking scary.
Yeah, dude, he's 215, bro. And he's probably gonna run like between 4.38 and 4.42, give or take.
I don't think he's going to have those type of burners personally. I think he's going to be like 4.47, which is still very good speed. It's what Bijan ran. I think that's what he's going to run. If he runs in the 4.3s, like I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with his grade.
Where do you have Omar?
The moon.
I had Omar at about 4.44 to 4.45 to 4.5.
Hampton is faster than Genty.
You think so?
Yes.
I thought Genty was a little bit faster when I was watching.
I think Hampton's faster. I think Hampton has a chance to run in the 4.3s. I think he'll probably run low 4.4s, but I think Genty will run in the high 4.4s.
Yeah, fair. I thought Genty was a little bit faster, but I mean, we'll see how they test. They're both really fucking athletic. Like, dude, Genty squats 650 pounds.
Yeah. Y'all know Mr. Mason's gonna post. Mason's in fucking LA, so he doesn't even have like a house right now.
Dude, when he took our call with us, he was literally just like in the middle of like the open.
Yeah, so he's staying with one of his girlfriend's like friends' parents or something like that in Orange County, which is like an hour and a half away from where the fires are. But yeah,
the Katron returned too. I didn't see the Katron. I saw Singleton.
I'm kind of annoyed with these guys that I have to talk about them for another draft cycle. Can they just come out?
Yeah, no, this is Singleton. Singleton's pretty interesting, though, I will say.
I don't know why Singleton didn't come out. I get Katron going back to school. I don't know why Singleton didn't.
Wait, you know who I just remembered that the Cowboys would totally be interested in to bring in as well? Lincoln Riley. Because they were literally heavily rumored to when Mike got hired. That was fucking 5 years ago.
Kellen Moore is about to be your head coach as well.
The way that they split up, that feels very baity to me.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, they split off on bad terms.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that was because of Mike. Maybe that's why he would be reemerging there, but I don't know. Again, aside from like, I think he's a very overrated offense coordinator, which even if we hired him, I would keep that sentiment. So yes, if we do hire Kellen Moore, all of you watching out there, remember me right now. I am completely anti Kellen Moore being the hiring.
Daddy,
if I try to convince you otherwise, fucking
so full of shit. Within a week, you'll be convincing yourself that he's changed.
Take that word right now. If I say anything fucking positive, if they ended up making that hire, remember this stream and say, hey, Danny was fucking talking how shit it was, and then now he's changing his tune. Because Kellen Moore is the biggest fucking fraud of an OC I've ever seen.
I'll play this back for you, but like, you literally talked yourself into Brian Schottenheimer being a good offensive coordinator. I just want to remind you of that.
It was Mike's offense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to gauge an offensive coordinator when they're not calling plays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Dylan, he went there for Christmas, but he moved to LA for like 6 months or something. Or maybe I'm breaking news that Mason doesn't want me to break. Apologies if I am, but he was supposed to go to LA for like the next couple of months. Yeah. And obviously right when he got there, the fire started. Thoughts on Matthew Golden going to the draft? He had a good season for us. Yeah. I mean, he like blatantly outproduced Isaiah Bond the whole year. So I think he's
an interesting profile when I was looking at it, because
it's not a great profile from what you see. Like in terms of his previous production, he's kind of like a bit of a 1-year wonder, almost a little Jalen Hyatt kind of. But the NFL draft community seems to really like him, which is good because that bodes well for his draft capital. I could see Golden getting like, top 50 draft capital after he tests. Like he's got speed. He's probably going to test pretty well. I would imagine
the production just has never really been there much. Like even this year, he averaged like, what is that, 52 yards per game pretty much?
Yeah.
And
like,
now, is that just the context of your guys' offense? Like, because even last year, AD and fucking Worthy.
It kind of is. It's kind of Quinn's fault. I don't know. Like, Worthy had no problem producing for them. I mean, he did have a problem producing, but at least like the raw production was there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we just don't know how to like coach these receivers, but like,
Facts.
I don't think Bond is very good. Like, I'm just gonna say.
I'm gonna keep it a stack, dude. Anytime this guy had any defender close to them, like, dude, all the negatives that people had on Xavier Worthy are just Isaiah Bond.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, Isaiah, dude, you know how people said last year in the cycle, they're like, oh yeah, if anybody was within like a 1 meter vicinity of Xavier Worthy, he wasn't coming down with the football. That is Isaiah Bond. There was one particular pass in that semifinal game. It was a wide open 15 or so dig route. It literally hit him in the hands, and he heard a defender behind him and did one of these. And I'm like, really?
Bond?
Yeah, Bond.
Yeah. No, he's
wide open big route.
He like it's sometimes I don't understand. First of all, I don't know if you saw this report, by the way, but wouldn't this be hilarious if this guy had to come back to the NFL? Because when we started the channel, he was my dude. But Henry Ruggs is up for parole next August. He could be ready for training camp in 2026.
Yeah, dude. What fucking scum of the earth team is just gonna?
Someone's gonna. I will bet you anything he gets signed to an NFL roster.
And Jerry's on the call.
I will bet you anything that Henry Ruggs gets signed to an NFL roster.
I mean, he was pacing for 1,000 yards as a second.
He was a good player when he got his whole incident happening, and he was a top 12 NFL draft pick.
It was so funny though, because like obviously, first of all, like he should have never gone above CD. Like that is the one, like just didn't make any sense in the world.
Well, he shouldn't have gone above Judy either.
Yeah. But like CD specifically, obviously with what CD's developed into, but like it was so funny how like you had to like beef like the analytics community, and they're like, no, he's bad, he never produced this and that. And it's like, watch the tape, the guy's got mitts and he can run fast, and like basically everything you said, like he was developing in his second year, and then he does that, and then
I'm so annoyed because I actually think he would have become a good player.
Then the analytics community came at you like, see, not only is he bad, but now he's a knucklehead. It's like, what do you mean he's bad? He was literally on pace for 1,000 yards. Just because he's not getting fucking 11 targets a game doesn't mean he's not a good player. Like, what?
Yeah, no, dude. The thing that pisses me off the most about that is that I may never get an answer as if he was going to become a good player or not.
I think he did though. He was showing signs, bro. Like, let me see. He averaged like 70 yards per game in his second year. No.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Chief by next training camp. It's fine,
dude. Bro, he had 469 yards and 2 touchdowns in 7 games before the incident.
Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of a wild take. Ruggs like literally ended somebody's life, but Devy League, what? Malachi Lemon? That's a made up name.
Makai Lemon.
That's a made up name. I've never even heard of that person.
He plays for USC. Let me see what the production was this year. 52, 764.
Why are y'all depressing me right now? He's a Raiders fan for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, Makai Lemon was pretty productive down the stretch last year. Curious.
Yeah, no, you're quietly. By the way, I think like the Browns, some of these other teams get all the pub for having like a shit time as a fan. Like the Raiders have it just as bad. People who are Raiders fans, dude, you haven't seen success since like the early 2000s when we beat the crap out of you guys in the Super Bowl.
So, bro, listen to these games before he ended up getting into the car accident, right? So the first game of the year, they won against Baltimore in overtime, 33-27, 2 catches, 46 yards, whatever. But he made a 37-yard catch, sure. Next couple games against Pittsburgh, 5 for 113 and a touchdown, 4 for 78, 3 for 60, 3 for 51, 3 for 97 and a touchdown, and then 4 for 24, and then he fucking ended up doing the thing.
Yeah. No, he was like low key. He was kind of having like the Quentin Johnston second season, except better.
Would a single Georgia player get drafted?
These drive tests. Yeah, these kids got to figure it out, man.
I mean,
that is true. Yeah,
I want to talk about bad.
Yeah, Rice could have seriously injured someone and not known about it.
Kyron Lacey, bro. Kyron fucking Lacey.
What did he do?
You didn't hear?
No, but he's one of these guys that needs a drive test at the combine too.
Apparently, he caused a crash that killed a Marine and fled the scene, and it didn't get found out till a month later. Dude, you know he was cooked the moment that they pulled up the report that happened, and the picture they used for the Marine was him and his dog. As soon as you saw it, it was the picture of the white Marine with him and his dog. You knew he's like, yo, this guy is never touching the NFL. He's never going to be touching out of prison. It's fucked.
Yeah,
it's fucked.
Was Kyron Lacey even good?
Dude,
I don't even think he was a good player. Like, I'm not really that concerned.
He didn't have a lot of production. He had, like, I know some film guys liked him because he had some flashes, but like,
yeah, it sounds like Michael Wilson 2.0. Michael Wilson is the definition of this is why we care.
Michael Wilson was an industry plant by PFF.
Yeah, that was I love you, Sigma, but like Michael Wilson was never good. I don't know why you thought he was good.
He was okay possession receiver, but like literally what he's been in the NFL is what I thought he'd be. I mean, like, yeah, he's gonna be like a solid like 3-4 outside.
He's a number 4 receiver who's the team's like unquestioned number 2.
Like, let me think. Who's this comparison? Like obviously different style, but like a Cedric Wilson type where it's like, oh, yo, he made a nice play. Like, he doesn't get a lot of playing time, but I like you. Every roster has like that one receiver that just pops up every now and then. Like Trey Palmer for you guys. Like, oh, yo, you made a nice play.
He's Walmart Devin Funchess. It's Michael Wilson.
Dude, Devin Funchess could not run at all, bro. By the end of Devin Funchess' career, Buddy could not fucking run. I mean, if you remember fucking Calvin Benjamin became washed after his second year.
Yeah. There's a couple like phenomenal like year 1 and year 2 receivers who just like stunk ass at football after their second year. Like Juju's second year is like was a movie. Like an absolute movie.
1,500 yards almost, dude.
Yeah, it was an absolute movie. And it's so funny because like the biggest lunatic in NFL history was like dead accurate about his assessment. Like Antonio Brown was like, the only reason this guy's good is because I'm on the other side of the field. What am I looking at?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I never want to see this again. Get this off the screen.
Sorry. Oh my God. I scrolled so you had to see it too.
No one had to see that but you.
Sorry, man. Oh my God.
Y'all know the game's already started, right? 5 o'clock. Oh, I guess you're on the West Coast.
I'm gonna keep it a stat. I completely forgot about that. I just started talking.
Strike for that. Anyways, we're gonna head off here because the game has in fact already started. But yeah, we'll talk to you guys later.
Maria just dropped something.
No, Maria just opened my door.
Oh, I was like, what? Okay.
Everyone heard that.
All right. Take it easy.
Oh. Anyways, here we go. We're going to head off here.
Take it easy.
Yes. All right. Take it easy, fellas.
See you.